Okay, hello boys and girls and mommies and daddies and guardians. Today for the grade 4s we're going to do a little bit of verlede tijd. Verlede tijd. And what that means is past tense. Okay, so we're going to just go through a few rules and steps on how to change a sentence into verlede tijd. Okay. So we're going to work from the textbook Afrikaans van Grense, and which is this book here, and we're going to work on page 62. So I would like you to open up your books on page 62, because this is the exercise that we'll be doing a little bit later. But before we do that, just if you have a piece of blank paper somewhere, just for you to make some notes, you can always pause the video if you do fall behind. Okay, so we are focusing on verlede tijd. Verlede tijd means past tense. Okay. But before we can learn how to change a sentence into past tense, we first need to know a few important concepts. And the first one is this concept here. What is a werkwoord? As you can see, a werkwoord is a verb. A werkwoord is a aksiewoord, action word, or a doing word. This concept of knowing what a werkwoord is very important in order to do or change a sentence properly into a past tense sentence. So, a little bit more about werkwoorde. So there's two types of werkwoorde. Okay? And if you don't get this the first time, don't be too much alarmed. Just as long as you know, the sentences is going to be very easy most of the time. So as long as I can identify the werkwoord or the verb, we'll be fine. But it's good to start to just know a little bit more about the types of werkwoorde for later on. Okay. So you get two types of werkwoorde: the with-werkwoord and a op-werkwoord. Okay, 'n with-werkwoord, it is die doen deel van 'n sin. So it is the action part, the doing part of a sentence. And the other concept of a with-werkwoord is that it can stand on its own. So for instance, I can say luister, which means listen, and that would be a sentence, just that one word. Okay, it can stand on its own. Okay, I'll come back to hulpwerkwoorde a little bit later. But for now, let's carry on with werkwoorde. So the werkwoord or the werkwoord of this sentence, this first sentence here, we ask ourselves, which word is the werkwoord? We need to identify the werkwoord, and you can see in this slide, I've already identified it for you here. It is skop, which means kick. So the sentence is, die seun skop die bal. The boy is kicking the ball. And the action word is skop, which means kick. As soon as you identify the werkwoord, circle it. Another example, die meisie eet die broodjie. The girl is eating the sandwich. We ask ourselves, watter woord is die werkwoord? Which word is the verb? The answer is yes. And you can circle it. Another example, die hond grou 'n gat. The dog dig a hole. Watter woord is die werkwoord? grou, dig, and you circle it. Right, now, going back to our table about the two types of werkwoorde, the second type you get is a hulpwerkwoord. It is to help. It is a helping verb, okay? And how do you know a verb is a helping werkwoord or a helping verb? It tells you when the action is happening. Wys wanneer iets gebeur. Okay, so the moment it tells you when it is happening, it is a hulpwerkwoord. So, a few examples of hulpwerkwoorde. Die seun sal die bal skop. So, which one is the hulpwerkwoord? Sal. Which one is the main werkwoord? Skop. And this is an example of future tense, toekomende tyd. The second sentence, die meisie het 'n broodjie geëet. Okay, the hulpwerkwoord is het. And the main werkwoord is geëet. Okay, and this is an example of verlede tyd, past tense. Last example, die hond wil 'n gat grou. The dog wants to dig a hole. Okay, so die hulpwerkwoord is wil and the main werkwoord is grou, which means dig. And this is an example of future tense, toekomende tyd. But for now, for today's exercise, we are only focusing on verlede tyd. This middle sentence here, and I'm going to teach you how to properly do this middle sentence. The other two sentences we will learn later on. So, how do we start? First of all, you need to understand the instruction. What is the instruction that you are reading? That's very important, because if you don't get the instruction, how will you know what to do? So, in a test or an exam, when I want you to change a sentence into past tense, I will ask it more, usually like this. Skryf nou die sin in die verlede tyd. Write the sentence in the past tense. This is the given sentence. Die seun skop die bal. So, step 1. Stap 1. Vind die werkwoord. Find the verb. Now do you understand why it's important to know the types of verbs and what the verb is and why it's important for you to know about verbs? This is why. Because the very first step is to find the verb. If you cannot find the verb or you find the wrong verb or the wrong word, you already have a problem with the rest of the exercise because everything starts with stap 1. Okay? So, here we have identified the verb. Die werkwoord is skop. It means kick. Die seun skop die bal. So I found it, and what do? I circle it. Step 1. Let's move to step 2. Step 2. Skuif die werkwoord na agter. Move the verb to the back. Now that you found the verb, you do what? You move it to the back. That is what we've done here. Easy. Step 3. Skryf ge voor die werkwoord. Write ge in front of the verb. Okay? There is ge. And what have I done? I have written it down in front of the verb. Voor die werkwoord. Step 4. Skryf het waar die werkwoord was. Write het where the verb was. So, we've taken this verb, we moved it to the back and we left one big hole. So what do we do now? We need to fill that hole with the hulp werkwoord. Yes. Okay. So we are filling the hole with het. Okay. Step 5. Voltooi die sin. Now finish the sentence. We've done all of that. Now we just move the seën down and the ball down. Remove the full stop and we've got a complete sentence that is changed into past tense. Die seun het die bal geskop. Right, boys and girls, now I need you to go to page 62 and finish the exercise A, number A on page 62. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see how you do. Let me know. Thank you. Bye-bye.